Beautiful biscuits. How is your autumn going? Are you in a harvest festival yet mood? I have not been doing as many out of the house harvest activities as I would normally do. Harvest activities sounds really pretentious, doesn't it? Fall things, you know. Apple orchard, fall leaves, pumpkins, that kind of thing. But yeah, this year I've just been, I think it's having little 7-month-old pears. We're just kind of hunkered down at home, looking at our pumpkins on the front porch going, it's a lot of work to get everybody ready. We'll just stay here. But something that I have been refocusing on, I guess, you know, now that I have spent 7 whole months parenting Pear, oh my goodness, and almost 7 years parenting Abraham, whoa. So, you know, I've been in the parenting game for a few years, a couple years, not a ton, a couple. Yeah, it's kind of made me rethink how I parent my inner child, how I nurture and feed and tend to and caretake that sensitive soul that is my inner child, right? We go through at some age, almost all of us, this dismantling of our inner child, right? Where, you know, maybe we were confident and we knew what we wanted and we had these views, and then we kind of realized that there were boxes we needed to fit into in the world, and there were ways to say things, ways to see things, and that was the way we were supposed to be. And it kind of, you know, pushes down that inner child voice, that wisdom and that free spirit and that just trusting love that our inner child has. And so the first thing I've been working on is just recognizing my inner child. I think this is really helpful for all of us, is, you know, I don't have to walk around all doing, hello inner child, how are you doing today? But taking a moment going, oh, you know, am I having some kind of reaction in my parenting or just in my day-to-day life that's really my inner child reacting? And I can see that sometimes when my inner child is, for lack of a better word, triggered, you know, and I have to go, oh, okay, what do I need to do to take care of this little inner child voice, this little inner child self that maybe wasn't taken care of then? And so I have these unresolved concerns or fears or anxieties. And when I kind of tend to them, it's so healing. It's so healing in just a, you know, my goal is just to be happy as frequently as I can, to be joyful, to live a genuinely happy life. As, you know, there's always ups and downs, right? Of course, there's always stressors and anxieties. I talk about that a ton on my Patreon page. We can't change that, but we can really influence the way we're reacting to things. But that's hard to do if you're constantly not paying attention to cues that your inner child is kind of giving you really clearly, right? Because I feel like as I've started to listen to that little inner child voice more, oh my goodness, children are not subtle, right? Your inner child is not subtle. Your adult brain will manipulate you and mess with you and be like, oh, let's just do this or that, or we'll just ignore this entirely, right? Like, we learn a more self-deceptive nature to survive. That inner child does not have that. So if we listen, it's very loud and clear what we need. And I've talked a lot this last year about embracing silly, goofy funness, and that, you know, something we can take from this really weird last year and a half is to be goofier, to be sillier in a way that embraces that inner child. Like, be playful. You know, when was the last time you did something that you would normally worry adults would judge you for, or it would just seem too foolish or too frivolous, right? Something fun and playful and kind. When did you last give yourself that gift? You know, have you gone down a slide recently? Have you gone for a run? Have you just played tag for no reason? Silly children's games that we think of, right? That are really ways to just let out energy and be in the moment without constantly focusing on what could have been or what's coming, which is kind of where fear and anxiety come in, right? If you're really just like in the moment, it's much harder to have a lot of anxiety. It's much harder to have a lot of sadness over that moment, for the most part, for a majority of moments, because you weren't focusing on what has been and what's coming. And I think that when we get more playful and we engage your inner child in play, it's way easier. Children are so in the moment, right? Although my son does plot ahead for when I'm going to give him donuts. But I think even that's in the moment. He's just like, I just feel like donuts right now. And it's really powerful to learn to be in the moment by fostering your inner child, by taking care of them. Go play a game. I've taken up doing puzzles. This is really fun. And last year, when I was feeling really anxious, I took up paint by numbers. Total kid thing to do, I know. But oh my goodness, puzzles and paint by numbers, so relaxing. You aren't making a product. You aren't being productive. You aren't doing something on a hard deadline. You're just doing something for fun. And I know it's shocking in this day and age that like we would have hobbies that are just kind of for fun, right? I feel like my generation in particular, we've been told we should monetize everything in our life. Like if you can't monetize it, why are you doing it? You know, drive and deliver people's groceries while you go grocery shopping. You know, go monetize your life, your things, your interests, everything. And that could cause such pressure on people to figure out, you know, what's their market, what are they selling, and do they even like something, right? Without just embracing what they really love, just for fun, just as a hobby, as downtime. Because kids don't try to monetize everything in their life. They don't try to be the most productive version of themselves. Because inherently, your inner child knows that that's what burns you out, right? That's what puts so much pressure on your life that it's really hard to retain your joy and retain your sparkle that is your inner child, you know? So just spend a little bit of time this month thinking about ways to tend to your inner child. Maybe you're at the stage where you just want to hear that little inner child voice. You just need to start recognizing the cues of what is your inner child, asking what is it needing, and maybe it's as simple as that. You know, it doesn't always have to be a big thing. You don't have to go out and do something. Sometimes it's just your inner child just needs to be recognized. Hey, I hear you. I see you. I understand you. I love you. You are loved, inner child. Oh. Love your inner child. Love yourself. Your adult version mixed in with that beautiful little inner child that we all used to be. Just as much as you love your children, right? We give so much love and attention to our families. It is so easy to forget to give that love and attention to ourselves. And it makes a huge difference. Just, you know, pursuit of happiness, right? That's the goal. You have to be able to give that love and attention to yourself as well. And it's not a either or kind of sum. Like you aren't taking away love and attention from your family when you're giving it to yourself and when you're nurturing your inner child. It's growing it. You're growing that abundance of love and nurturing, which is it's so powerful. Okay, loves. I love you. I see your inner child, and I hope that you are listening to that little voice and that you are having joyful fun. I'll see you in the next video.